everyone. My name is Dr. Mohsen. Today I'm going to talk about hope. I start with a quote. Let me go. Okay. Let me start with the quote. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. You can always ask God. You can always ask yourself. You can always ask others. Never stop questioning. Don't accept anything blindfolded. Don't close your eye and say, okay, whatever you say, I accept. It's not a good thing to do. But today I'm going to talk about hope and optimism and the difference between hope and optimism. When you blindfoldedly accept something, then you are following somebody. Do you remember? I guess there was a crowd. In if you read, and there is an internet, and you can go to internet and research. There was a religious group. They believe if they die together, they go to heaven. If I'm not mistaken, the leader of the group manipulated all the group. They killed themselves all together. They say we are all together, and they supported each other and they killed themselves all together. You can go and research about this event that happened. It's a real event that happened. All the people together, all that group of the people, they were all together, killed themselves. Sometimes when you follow somebody blindfoldedly, even if you fall in love with somebody blindfoldedly, then you don't see anything. There is a reason they say fall in love. But if you want to fall, don't fall blindfoldedly. But today I'm not talking about love. Let me go back to hope. Hope and optimism are not the same. Even when they are both positive states of mind and closely linked to our mental well being, but we often use them as a stand in word for each other. Sometimes we use certain words in place of each other that they have different meaning. In any language it happens. In English language, sometimes we use certain things in place of each other, although they are so much different. It's like, so when you live your own life, you are a unique person. You are one and only person that has that characteristics. But when you live other person's life, you sit on other person's seat and you live another person's life. Then everything getting distorted. It mixed. Because you cannot be another person. There's no way you can live another person's life. That's their life to live, not yours. It's like so many words in English language that we use interchangeably. So How do they differ? I solve the mystery here, along with a bunch of interesting facts about each other. There is a lot of fact that you don't know. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. You may think, I know everything, and you said, oh, I know everything. Tell me, and I know it. Already know that things that are going to say. But you don't know what you don't know. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, optimism is hopefulness and confidence about the future or a successful outcome of something, a tendency to take a favorable or hopeful view. See, optimism is for the present most of the time. Whatever situation you are in, you see the half glass full, not half glass empty. When you fill a glass of water and you drink from it, you don't let it overflow. You drink from that glass, and half glass is full of water, half glass is empty. What happened? When somebody else come and see the glass of water, they might see the half empty, they might see the half full. And it's true for everything. When whatever situation you're in, you can see the positive of that situation, or you can see the negative of that situation. Even professional, they say see the half full. But some false teacher on TV ministry, they say, oh, think negative. That's absurd. That's nonsense. Always think positive. Always see the full half. Even if you want to feel, you have to see the half full, and then, oh, we have a space for more. Then you can add to that half full. Okay, but the hope is the expectation of something desired, desire combined with expectation. The real difference is normally optimism is a view, just a view. Optimism is something that is related to your emotion. It's something that about how you see things. That's optimism. But hope is not only in the look. It's related to your belief. It's related to your action. Sometimes we are in difficult situation, but we hope that situation will change. That's the difference. Hope is aligned with action. You do something to change the situation. You do something to make your life better. Sometimes it's your turn to change your life for the better. Sometimes your hope is depend on others' hope. Maybe you watch the TV ministry and say, oh, there is still hope. And based on that saying, you say, okay, I have hope. But it's not a real hope. It's not a real hope. If you believe because somebody else, if you hope because of somebody else's hope, it's a false hope, fake hope. You have to hope for yourself, not because somebody else said. there is still hope. Okay, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, hope is something good that you want to happen in the future, or a confident feeling about what will happen in the future. And optimism is the quality of being full of hope and emphasizing the good parts of a situation or a belief that something good will happen. You see the difference? Whatever situation are you in, you believe that something good will happen. That's optimism. But the hope is different from that. You hope something good will happen, and in order to that thing to happen, you have to work, you have to do an action to make it that happen. Hope involves a person's belief about themselves and actions they plan and take to reach their desired goal. You have a desired goal, you make a list, and you expect God to answer that list. But in order God to answer that, you have to take action. Waiting on God is not passive things. Waiting on God is not something that, okay, I sit on my chair and God do everything for me. I know. I know God will answer me. I know that one day, I know one day, no, right. One day it happened. It's not working like that. You have to do something in order to that things happen in the future. Even if you make a list and you want answer from God, you have to take action step by step. And that's what is the next step? What is the next step? A step by step, you realize your goal, you achieve your goal. You make a list, is a bucket list. Now, some people have bucket lists. They want to do certain things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. They take action and they cross off from the list. Okay, I did this. What is the next step? I did this. It's done. Cross the list. One, I did two, I did three, and go on. What is the next step? What is the next step? Hope is like this. Hope is not wishing something happen. Hope is not wish. Hope is taking charge of your destiny, taking charge of your future. Something has happened today is because you did something in the past. That's how it works. You have hope. But in order to be reached in that hope, you have to do something. Okay, and then I said hope involves a person's belief about themselves. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe me. Hope is a stable individual state of mind that is event specific, depends on external situation, and includes a successful sense of agency and pathway. Hope, a positive feeling and a state of motivation that arises from the belief that one has agency, power, and pathway means to achieve one's goals. Right? And this is how hope is a state of mind, and optimism is a state of mind. But there is a difference. Both of them are motivational. When you are depressed, you say, "Oh, nothing gonna work. I know it's I know it's not going to work. I know it's not going to work." But when you have hope in your mind, when you see the half full of the glass, then You are motivated. Oh, the best is yet to come. Then, it some churches they even written the best yet to come. But you have to believe it for yourself. It's not because somebody else said that. You have to believe it for yourself. The best is yet to come. When you believe it, when it ingrained in your mind the best is yet to come, then you are motivated to do something about it. According to David Hume, hope is a mixture of two different emotions: a desire for something and a belief that the desire will likely come to fruition. Hope is not just wishing. Hope is an emotion that occurs when you focus on a positive outcome and then you follow it through with an action plan. That's the difference, again, hope and optimism. When you hope for something, you do action plan. In my first book, Live the Fullest of Your Life, I detail this for you guys. I wrote it in detail in the book. How to set an action plan, how to execute that action plan. When you hope for something, you have to do something about it. But if you wish for something just that, it's not gonna happen. Optimism is a character trait or a strength that is event independent, does not depend on external situation, and in which individual expect desired outcome to happen in the future and undesired outcome not to happen. See, that's optimism. Optimism is a part of your character. You see in everything around you, every all around you. But you have hope. You are, you think everything around you working for good. Optimism is something you see everything around you, even bad things, work for your own good. Now, see, you see the good things in everything. When you meet somebody and you see the best in that person, that's optimism. When you're going through hardship, you hope that desired outcome will come from it. That optimism. When you cease, when you see everything, sometimes it's an example. There is a lot of psychological tests. It's from psychology. They show you a picture and said, what do you see in the picture? First thing you see in the picture, it shows that you are optimist or pessimist. When you see something and you see that, oh, it's not good, but you see that good outcome come from that situation as optimism. Okay. Hope is distinct from optimism by being an emotion, representing more important but less likely outcomes, and by affording less personal control. Hope is tapped into the when odds are low, yet individuals are highly invested in the outcome. When you are highly invested in a situation that everything against you, that's hope. You are in a bad situation, but you invest in that situation to make it better. That's hope. Hope and optimism in positive psychology. Both hope and optimism are positive mental state. So you need a positive mental state. Don't listen to false teacher that they say, "Oh, think negative." Not think negative even for 1 minute. 2 minutes is so long. 10 minutes so long. Don't even negative thought for 1 minute. Don't even think 1 minute negative. But both motivate, both hope and optimism motivate toward, and both involve favorable expectation of desired outcome in the future. An understanding of hope is important to find out more about basic human responses as goal setting, commitment, coping, and change. Hope and optimism are part of our cognitive, emotional, and motivational outlooks toward the future, both featuring the belief that pleasant event will outweigh the bad event in the future. According to positive psychology, we can learn to increase both our hope and optimism level and get other part of our life to work better. So, if you don't have hope, if you are not positive thinker, if you are not optimist, you can work on that. You can learn how to be optimist instead of pessimist. The first step is don't listen to false teacher. That's why I turn off the TV ministry long time ago. I don't listen to false teacher on TV long time ago. I stopped listening to them. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of my time. My time is so precious. I don't waste my time. That's why I quit. I stop listening to them, watching them, whatever. And the first step is this: stop listening to people who weigh you down. Stop listening to people that said, you can't, you can't. Stop listening to people that blame you. Stop listening to people that says, oh, you don't have anything. It's not for yours. Don't listen to people that, oh, I have more experience than you and I know that you cannot do it. Stop listening to people who mock you, laugh at you, brings you down. Stop listening to them. And an understanding of hope is important to find out more about basic human resources, human responses as goal setting, commitment, coping, and change. Hope and optimism are part of our cognitive, emotional, and motivational outlooks toward the future, both featuring the belief that pleasant event will outweigh the bad event in the future. According to positive psychologists, we can learn to increase both our hope and optimism level and get other part of our life work better. There is different kind of hope. There is different kind of hope. And if we have hope, we know that even may something bad happen in the future, but good things outweigh them. So let me discuss about different kind of hope. Animal hope. Children are born with this is a kind of hope that is their basic natural disposition unless adults threaten it. Children have hope. That's why we see they believe in fantasy. They believe in imaginary person. And when they grow up, they don't believe it anymore. Why? Because adult, the parents threaten it. When you believe in something and adults said, oh, grow up, don't be a child. Actually, the Bible said, be a child. You see, the things that people teach, parents teach, is against the Word of God. You have to believe. You have to believe in fantasy. You have to believe. I don't care if you believe in Santa Claus. It's better than not believing anything. You can believe in North Pole. I don't care. I'm as an adult, I don't believe in Santa Claus. But if it creates hope in you, I suggest believing Santa Claus. It's better than ignoring it. I'm watching a film. There was a daughter of a pastor. She has problem with Christmas. So it's better to believe in Santa Claus than ignore the Christmas. Oh, so another kind of hope is chosen hope. This is a type of hope in which you choose to believe in the best positive result out of all possibilities. Sometimes you choose to have hope. You see, I choose to see the best, not the worst. And there is borrowed hope. That's what they're talking about. In me, some churches they said the best is to come. And you walk down the lobby of the church or something, and you see that, oh, and see, oh, that's a sign. But if you don't believe in that, it's not a sign for you. You have to believe it for yourself. Then it is a sign for you. If it is a borrowed hope, if you are borrowing that things, then it's not a sign for you. And then bargainer hope. It is a type of hope we bargain for when facing a daunting challenge or when a crisis crashes into our life. When something happens, an accident is something that unexpectedly happened and change your life. You are going in certain direction, strike, something bad happened, and you cannot continue in the same way. What do you do? No, I guess some musician. When you composing music and you become deaf, how do you do that? How do you cope with that? You can be like Beethoven and continue that, or you can be victim and say, why happen? That's how life works. Bad things happen. Maybe bad things happen to good people. It's a lot. I've heard a lot of story. Bad thing happen to good people. You have to cope with that and hope. Unrealistic hope. This kind of hope is hoping for far-fetched, unlikely, and improbable things to happen. Sometimes you have false hope. As I said, you sit on your chair and you have hope that somebody, for example, you love somebody and you are in another city. For example, you are in Toronto and you love somebody. And you have hope that your loves come back to you. It's 0%. It's impossible. When somebody get away from you because the different times. For example, I give you an example. When I first get married, my first marriage, we had a lot of problem. It was a total failure. My first marriage was total failure. So if, for example, if she expect me to go back to her, go back to my first love, it's impossible. I hope she doesn't have that kind of hope. But just imagine my first love expect me to go back to her. That's unrealistic hope. Mature hope. We base this type of hope on an understanding that whoever thinks they're out, they are worthwhile. And sometimes we grow on hope. The hope growing on us. I can example from my personal life. I didn't have hope in certain point when I went to the doctor and doctor told me, "Oh, you have this kind of disease and you have to take pills for the rest of your life." So I was desperate. I was hopeless. But the hope growing on me when I see different things, when I see hopeful sign, and then the hope grew on me, and I become more hopeful every day. And the last one, false hope. This type of hope is built around a magical wish or a fantasy. It results from distortion of reality. For example, when you are preaching in the church and say, "I want 45," that's the wishful thinking. You never get 45. Believe me, you never get 45. Or you wish that, "Oh, I wish that I have a big church." It's not going to happen to have a big church. I know somebody, he was wishful to build a church for Iranian, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So that's a false hope. Don't believe in false hope. I guess that's all for today, and I hope you learn a lot from this. Peace of God be with you all. Good morning, everyone. My name is John. Chicago.